Hi YouTube, that's another unboxing. Yeah, I've done a few recently. This is the version 2 LDRC Mitsubishi Pajero. I'm actually kind of hoping for good things out of this because I've got a bit of a sort of up and down with LDRC. Half of the stuff that I've had has had kind of issues out of the box, and they can be very good and not so good. So but this version 2, it has, from what I can see, a mechanical 2-speed gearbox with planetary gears in it, which will seriously help the torque. It also has updated front suspension. It's independent front suspension, so IFS, but previously it's just on like a torsion spring, whereas now it looks like it's on full-on shocks. I mean, okay, they're friction shocks by the looks, but it actually gives it a bit of suspension movement, because the front on the previous LDRCs, like you can see in the background here, is front's a bit firm and the back's a bit springy, although you can't really see it on the bench at the moment. So I still expect the suspension to be a bit springy, but I'm hoping that the drivetrain is much better geared, because previously it's geared quite high, so struggles for torque and climbing, and sort of when you meet an obstacle it sort of lacks that initial torque to get over it, sort of thing. So anyway, I do believe customs have already been in the box, which is always a winner. So if you know these, they normally come in a different style of box. It is now licensed where it wasn't previously, which you can actually see the Mitsubishi logo on the front there, and a few extra details. I don't know if I have to put them on or if they're already installed. So anyway, if you're interested in the box, the two options still comes in the same colours, but it's licensed with better stickers and so on. I like their logo. Typical blurb about not eating batteries on the bottom. So, but yeah, the box has got some nice sort of funky spiral type patterns in it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. And sort of textured and that. So it's definitely an improvement from the old wooden box. So you still have to put on all your door handles and stuff by the looks. USB charger, a little screwdriver. So we'll get to that in a moment. You've got to add the steps as well. Don't know if I remember having to do that in the past. And how to use the remote, which I'm sure will be quite basic. Looks like 2 AA's. Yeah, 2 AA's, and he's required for the remote. Where to put all your wipers and handles, and where to put, how to use your remote in English and Chinese. Although it's not great for the environment, it's nice that it's actually in a decent little clamshell. Well, there's more weight to that, I can tell from the start. Typical remote. So yeah, there's more weight to that from the start. It's already got the Pajero stickers on, some of them anyway. It's far more detailed on the rear there. And it gives you plenty of the good old plastic to tear off. which is good because it stops the windows and that getting scratched up in transit. That sounds like my son saying. So windscreen wipers are already pre-installed on this. So yeah, the back's still a little bouncy, but it definitely has more ground clearance. And at least the suspension actually works at the front there now. So it gives you scope for fitting other tyres, like wheels and tyres from like WPL, like this one back here. So yeah, battery lives under the back here. That's a little stumpy battery. I don't know the specs on that at the moment. I'll have to see if I can find the specs here. I am glad to see that it comes with some of the stuff already installed, because previously you'd have to fit these light covers and they're notoriously a pain. I ended up gluing mine on just because they didn't want to stay on. So yeah, you've got these kind of like little plastic surrounds there. I don't know where you can see that. But yeah, definitely way more suspension clearance there, and a lot more suspension travel in the front. So fronts do actually have springs now. I've actually ordered, because they do replacement springs for these already, so I'm hoping that it's something that I can upgrade on those. And I've ordered these springs and the mounts for them off of AliExpress because they seem to do them. So the gearbox, or the under chassis, looks a bit like WPL D12 or D series there. You can tell that the gearbox is a little bit different. Still on plastic drive shafts, plastic 4-link. I'm not sure what they've done on the back there to make the suspension a bit higher. Maybe mounted it differently or something, or stronger springs. You can see on the old version that it doesn't have the springs there, so it just has friction springs, and there's limited travel. The gearbox does look somewhat different. I've got to add the steps and that on these. But yeah. So I know that this is just a single speed. As you can tell, it has been out, muddy tyres and stuff. Believe it or not, although I've got a lot of RCs, they've all been out at some point. Okay, I might not use them much, but it's nice to have the options. So let's get some batteries in the remote. Just 2 AA's. And previously, when you put the batteries in the remote, they the channel was a little bit off centre, so you couldn't ever get them out again. But these seems quite happy for them to come out again. Probably don't actually need that screw back in there. Right, so it does actually say on the remote what the functions are for the A, B and C buttons. The first is apparently for the high-low gears. Well, A is for high-low gears, B is apparently for vehicle lights, and C is for high-low lights or something. But we'll see. There's always a sequence to do this. This is where they've failed in the past. Right, we have steering, hey, and it's the right direction, so that's a bonus. We have indicators. We have rear indicators. So B doesn't seem to do much. Although B you can't turn off now, apparently. And C doesn't seem to do much. So we're not seeming to have lights at the moment. Okay. So we have low. Right. You definitely hear a servo shifting in there. So we seem to have indicators and no lights at all for some reason. So I'm going to try turning that off, and turning that off, turn that back on. Yeah, see, we have flashing headlights there. No tail lights, but when we turn that on, okay. Right, so we have lights. Right, yeah, so obviously took them a little while to wake up. We have lights, side lights, indicators, and on the back we have dim but tail lights, brake lights, reverse lights. So I don't know if there's a way to do hazards or something on this, but gladly we have lights now. Bizarre. Anyway. Yes, the bench is an absolute mess at the moment. Maybe we'll come up just a little bit. Steering's reversed. Is that something I've done? Right. Just going to do the classic one off again. Yeah, that's something that I've done somewhere along the line. Well, it's definitely got more torque. And a lot more suspension travel. Yeah, that wouldn't have done that before. So, yeah, even in its high gear, it's got a lot more sort of torque and capability. Yeah, obviously need to get out in trails and stuff, which I'm going to struggle to be able to do. I mean, it's a bit louder, but then that's a metal drivetrain for you. So, yeah, so obviously a metal drivetrain is always going to be a bit louder. There's a comparison. Yeah, I even generally leave the batteries in and connected, which is a big no. Shouldn't ever do that. Don't intend to, but it just kind of happens. Or I end up with no batteries in there at all. Right on. Go on. So originally this had the same wheels as the version 2, but I just went for the Pimp Daddy style. So it's only single speed on this. You got like an electric high and low. Hear that? Okay, so it's proving me otherwise. But see that cut out there? Made a mess of my pinch now. So yeah, that's just an electronic high and low on that one. And yeah, you can definitely tell that this one had some use because I've got a load of mud to clear off the bench. I mean, it certainly weren't the worst performing RC that I've ever had. But it's definitely kind of, well, there's a bit of a story to them really. The first one that I ordered, the remote died on it, and then the seller thought it might be the motor, and one thing or another, sent me a motor, I changed that didn't work, and the seller on AliExpress was actually pretty good. Then they, because that didn't work, then they sent me another car, and I got the other car, and the motor died on it. So yeah, so fortunately I had a motor from the first one, and then I managed to pick up another remote, so I ended up with an extra car for like all the bits that went wrong with it. So the seller was good there on AliExpress. But yeah, so and the baby LDRC, which is now capable, that when I first got it, the steering servo died on it. So yeah, I've had some which have been fine out of the box, just a bit high geared and underpowered, and the LDC 118th Range Rover is definitely in that camp. Not only that, with these sort of plasticky tyres, that really didn't help either, but I've put a reduction gearbox in that one and that actually works well now. But yeah, which is why I'm kind of happy to see that they've done that with this one, because it does really make such a difference. But I'll get the accessories on and just basically introducing this one to the channel and sort of saying that I'm quite glad to see that they've done a version 2 of this, because I do like the old Pajero bodies. I've even got a Unimog from LDRC up there as well, which I need to do some work on that. I want to paint it in that. Can't remember if I've done an unboxing on that one. Might have done. So yeah, let's put the final bits of trim on this, and I'll get back to you. Right, so we're back. I found a couple of things that kind of resemble number plates. So we've got the nice details there, Mitsubishi badge on the front. The indicators are more of an orange now. So yeah, the good old 45-degree slope test. I think we're still in low gear. So we're dragging on the back bumper, but that's standard to be expected. And it has a drag brake and a slide brake. I think these tyres, when this coating wears off the surface, will actually be a fair bit grippier. So yeah, plenty of power in high and low. Yes, but the only thing I'm saying at the minute is that these could do with a little bit of weight on the front end. But yeah, that's more of a slide brake at the moment, but the drag brake is strong. It seems to keep knocking into neutral for some reason, so I'm sure it's just a little adjustment that's needed. Yeah, when it's on a slope, when you put into, I think it's high gear, doesn't seem to like that for me. But at the moment, this is slightly cheaper than the the MN111, wherever I put that. And I'd buy this over the MN111, and I'm an MM fan, so yeah, definitely look at the version 2 ldrc Pajero. Definitely much better for the scale details. And with that extra ground clearance, it should fit most of the WPL wheels and tyres, some of the MM ones, and definitely some of the other LDRC ones. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to pull the body off this one and the old one at some point to do an internal comparison. And yeah, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Just a little caveat. So just in under my finger there is the mechanism for the 2-speed. Yeah, definitely need to put it apart and have a further explore at some point. Bye for now.